Now, as some of you may or may not know, this coming up weekend is BlerdCon. For those of you who don't know, BlerdCon is an event that highlights and celebrates blerd culture, creates a marketplace of ideas where sharing that culture can take place with proper context, attribution, and positivity in an inclusive environment. BlerdCon is every year. It's held in the Hyatt Crystal City Regency Hotel, and it's 3 days of 24-hour conning that is to be experienced. It can be explained, but it is to be experienced. No slight to any other cons. I've been to several of the cons in my day. And while there are some cons that hold special places in my heart, I can go on record by saying right now that BlerdCon is and probably will forever be my favorite con to go to. I love BlerdCon. It's just something special about it. The environment that it's in, the people who show up and show out, the cosplayers, people who go to the parties and the dancing. I mean, people are actually full out busting moves in cosplay. I mean, there are people there with gaming. There's the food trucks. Oh my God, there's so much going on during this event. And it's all incredible from beginning to end. I'm not saying no other cons have I don't see a place for myself at that con, but BlerdCon, man, I will always be loyal to BlerdCon. Until BlerdCon gives me a reason not to be, I'm going to always be loyal to BlerdCon. Shout out to BlerdCon, man. Shout out to Hilton. Shout out to everyone who's going to be attending this weekend. I can't wait to see y'all. We're going to have a hell of a time. Ladies and gentlemen, blerds and nerds, freaks and geeks, this is Do You Speak Geek?
DYSG, keep it real, that's key. We the best OGs, dope topics, come see. DYSG, keep it real, that's key. We the best OGs, dope topics, come see. I got a question, do you speak geek? New episodes on the podcast dropping each week. Get hip to the game, I'm giving y'all a sneak peek. Flavor for your ears, bars flowing on unique beats. Blerds and nerds, freaks and geeks. The source wall Wednesday dropping comics you should cop. I think you'd ought to peep. Don't sleep on Dono and Nix. They preaching the gospel, real ish, ill like mono, they sick. Thumb life if you're into games with combos and kicks. This podcast is a gift, it's as real as it gets. Blerds taking over, with clever marketing we gain exposure. Feeding the community magic, your boy's a nerd promoter. The dialogue is Jimmy Crackcorn, we aiming for gold. The truth was told, I can't speak for other platforms. Sharp as cats out like knives, claws, and tack thorns. We blacking out, going crazy like a black storm. DYSG, don't forget to follow back. Hosting on the airwaves, always keeping it a stack. Flowers to my haters, psych, I ain't giving y'all jack. Number one on the charts, give your boy a gold plaque.
Hey, y'all, what it do? It's your boy Nix back again for the pod. This is episode 156. Shout out to everybody who has been rocking with me, man. I love y'all so much. Y'all, that battery in my back, man. I love y'all so much for checking in, for following, for subscribing, for listening, to sharing, for liking, for commenting, all that shit. I love y'all. But if you are new here, welcome to Do You Speak Geek? This is the podcast. We bring you all the latest and greatest inside the geek realm. Shout out to Spreaker, the home team. But wherever you get your podcast, please be sure to subscribe to Do You Speak Geek. But in the meantime, follow us on social media. Facebook at DYSGFB, Twitter at DYSG_tweets, Twitch at DYSG_games, and Instagram and TikTok at Do You Speak Geek. Coming soon, DYSGmedia.com. It'll be the central spot for everything DYSG, y'all. It's going to be the Do You Speak Geek podcast, the CCW podcast for wrestling fans, the Love Blurs podcast for all things relationships and that stuff in between. Plus, we'll be giving y'all blogs, articles, music, photos, videos, and some merchandise. So y'all keep your eyes peeled for that because this site is going to be phenomenal. And also check out the YouTube channel, the only place where you can find the Dono and Daddy Show. Please be sure to subscribe, like, Hulk, smash that bell for all notifications, and leave comments. We want to know what you guys think. This coming up Friday, First Friday Fights will be live from BlerdCon. Me and Dono are going to be doing First Friday Fights there. I hope y'all enjoy what we do. It's going to be great. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and do what we do about this time, people. Let's speak geek.
Suit up.
I wanna be the very best.
Talk nerdy to me.
Okay, we got reviews coming at you at rapid fire. Sonic Prime Season 2. This second season proves to be an engaging and in some aspects improved follow-up to the hit family-friendly animated show. Check this one out. AEW Fight Forever. It may have the audacity to challenge the current king of wrestling games, 2K, but despite its fun-loving spirit, strong sense of style, and solid fundamentals, in some places it does fail to execute on a level that comes anywhere close to its potential. However, this is its first time around, so we gonna shoot some bail. My Adventures with Superman. It kind of fuses Superman with Goku and Adult Swim's sweet shonen anime inspired take on the Man of Steel. It's still a dope series, y'all. Check it out when it comes out. And finally, we have Star Wars Shatterpoint board game. It carves out a distinct tactical niche in the growing world of Star Wars games, but sometimes the amount of detail slows the play down. Either way, y'all, check that out when y'all get a chance. Let's go ahead and hop into my favorite portion of the show. Y'all know the vibes. Source Wall.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
Behold the source wall.
Can you read, my son?
Well, that depends.
There is nothing wrong with reading a story and looking at the pictures.
Enough said, Stan. The pull list this week, we have Adventures of Superman John Kent, number 5. The Super Sons are reunited and up against an entire world of injustice. But in this penultimate issue, will John Kent have a hope of returning to his Earth? It's a battle for the soul of Superman and the safe return of the Super Sons as this injustice saga cranks up the heat. Oh boy, this should be pretty good, y'all. We're almost done with this book. Night Terror's First Blood, number 1. When Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman find the body of one of the earliest enemies inside the Hall of Justice, their investigation takes them past the land of the living, beyond the land of the dead, and directly to a new villain called Insomnia. Ooh, boy, Insomnia is definitely a villain. Oh God. Who uses his powers to engulf every single hero and villain into their own dark and twisted nightmares. The only way to save the world is to call for the help of an unlikely hero, Deadman. The thrills and chills of Night Terrors are brought to the DC universe by DC architect and superstar writer Joshua Williamson, with horrific art by comics legend Howard Porter. This one should be pretty good, y'all. Let's see where it goes. No One, number 4. Julia's quest for the truth gets personal as Ben gets closer to identifying the copycat killer and maybe finally answering the question of No One's identity. Plus, the story continues in Who is No One, a monthly companion podcast starring Rachel Lee Cook and Patton Oswalt. I love this book, y'all. It's so dope. And finally, we have Captain America 750, a special issue. The Captain America mourns their fallen after the harrowing events of Captain America Cold War. The Captains America return home to mourn their fallen and strive to honor the power of legacy. Plus, the secret origin of Sam Wilson's new shield is revealed, and a bold new direction for Sharon Carter. In honor of 750 issues of Captain America, a team of fan-favorite guest writers join forces with superstar artists to spin timeless tales celebrating the epic history of the Star-Spangled Hero. Do not miss this jam-packed, oversized issue. Listen, I'll be picking all those up this week. Be sure you pick those up and even more this Wednesday at your local comic book store. Let's watch this.
Watch this, y'all. Thunder! Thunder! Thunder!
The Lannister always pays his debts.
Whoa, dude. I am the villain of the story.
Okay, people. This is the biggest news all week. You could not get around it. The second it dropped, it was everywhere, so let's get into it. David Cornsweet will play the Man of Steel in James Gunn's Superman Legacy with Rachel Brosnahan, we'll get her name right eventually, right, to play Lois Lane. DC Studios announced that earlier this week. Cornsweet is best known for his breakout role in Netflix's The Politician, with Brosnan earning acclaim for her role as a title character in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Gunn, who will be directing Superman Legacy in addition to his role as the co-architect of the new DC universe, confirmed the news. Accurate. They are not only both incredible actors, but also wonderful people. Cornsweet and Brosnahan were stepping into critical roles for the new DC universe amid its well-publicized struggles, which include The Flash being on track to be a box office bust. DC Studios is now looking to Gunn and Peter Safran to reboot its new cinematic universe. Superman Legacy will be a major tone setter for the new DCU, which Gunn has previously said will not be a clone of the MCU. The plot summary for Superman Legacy reads as, Superman Legacy tells the story of Superman's journey to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as Clark Kent of Smallville, Kansas. He is the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way, guided by human kindness in a world that sees kindness as old-fashioned. So what do you guys think of these castings? You think we got a great one here, huh? For one, yeah, the guy is pretty much Henry Casual, but I saw him in a Netflix series. I think it was Hollywood I saw him in, maybe perhaps. It could have been The Politician I saw him in. Either way, but I saw him and immediately thought, yeah, that guy looks just like Superman. And Miss Maisel, yeah, she's gonna kill his Lois. I like this casting. I'm all for it. What do you guys think? All right, so Among Us is getting an animated series 3 years after it exploded into a pandemic-era sensation, and Among Us animated series is being developed by CBS Studios. The new series will be based on the premise of the game, with a murderous imposter sabotaging the ship, backstabbing crew members, and generally sowing chaos. Who will be the imposter? Maybe we'll find out in the season finale. Among Us developer Inner Sloth is involved with the project. It is being led by Owen Dennis, who worked on a regular show and as a writer, storyboard artist before creating Infinite Train, a Cartoon Network series about an endless train filled with impossible worlds. Tim Mouse, the studio behind Big Mouth and Star Trek Lower Decks, is handling the animation. So this should be pretty good. Considering the animation style, it should look good. I'm not sure how many seasons this can go on for. I don't know. An Among Us series, it'll be good for a season, but that'll be it for me personally. I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe we'll get maybe 2 seasons? Probably not. Anyway, let's go ahead and hop into Thumb Life.
Peace, love, and video games!
It's on like Donkey Kong.
That man is playing Galaga.
Okay, you gamers, let's hop into it. Wild Card Football. Saber Interactive is working on a football-themed take on its popular NBA Playground series with former NFL player and social activist Colin Kaepernick taking center stage on the game's cover. Like NBA playgrounds, wildcard football will include hundreds of real-life football players, including TJ Watt, Jalen Hurts, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and more. But while it features real NFL players, it's not an NFL game, meaning you won't be able to play as the Kansas City Chiefs or the Minnesota Vikings. Instead, you can create your own customized 7-on-7 team with players reimagined playground style. The gameplay is reminiscent of arcade classics like NFL Blitz, with special wild cards granting powers like super strength and invisibility. It will include season play, local multiplayer, and online multiplayer with full crossplay across consoles. This seems like it's going to be pretty dope. And I'm sorry, I'm making it bomb down the field with Colin Kaepernick if I play this. I mean, it's kind of remind you of NFL Street or NFL Blitz. Yeah, man, let's get this going. I like this. I'm with it. What y'all think? Okay, a bit of an update on The Sims 5. EA will seemingly make The Sims 5, or Project Renee as it's currently known as, a free-to-play game that allows user-generated content in a monetization model similar to Fortnite. As reported by Sims Community, EA posted a job listing looking for a head of marketplace and monetization for Project Renee, which described it as a free-to-enter game. The candidate will own pricing of all content in this free-to-play game, ensuring we have an optimal pricing and content architecture, and provide guidance to content teams on in-game content needs to meet player demand. Another responsibility mentioned in the game marketplace and management of user-generated content, the candidate will own Project Renee's in-game marketplace of content and UGC, free and paid, and manage a data-informed, player-centric player journey, maximizing value to players, optimizing player spend patterns, and minimizing player churn. So, with this job listing, it kind of lets you know that where Sims is headed as far as the user content. But what do you guys think? You think they should follow that model that Fortnite is doing, or no? Me personally, I would say no. But again, that's just me. Maybe things need to change. And finally, the Multiversus is shut down. Multiversus has officially shut down until early 2024, and players have taken to social media to share their mixed feelings over this hiatus. While the game was perceived by many to be a full release already due to its battle pass and other microtransactions, DLC characters and so on, Warner Bros. Games announced in March it would close down as of June 25th. Now the date has been and gone, players have shared their conflicted feelings online, with most just appearing slightly sad they can't play their favorite game for the best part of a year. Many lapsed players said they jumped back into Multiverse for a final few games before the shutdown, while others enjoyed their regular daily games one last time before time ran out. It wasn't all warm feelings, however, as some players continued to express their frustrations as Multiverse is going dark after spending real money on it. Quote, locking people out of money they spent on your game until next year is something no company has successfully done for quite obvious reasons, one user said on Twitter. Yeah, I mean, you kind of got a point there. I mean, some people have maybe spent some hard-earned money on this game, and now you're just kind of keeping them away from their purchases. I don't know. It doesn't sound too good. As far as a reason why it's being shut down, it's not really anything given a reason why. But I guess we'll see next year at some point. I don't know. Hopefully sooner than later, because yeah, you gotta do something there, Multiverse. You gotta do something there, Warner Brothers. Take care of this problem, okay? All right, let's do that. Okay, nerds, let's mark out.
So what you gonna do?
Goodbye and good night. Bang!
Okay, y'all, let's go ahead and talk about this. This past weekend, Money in the Bank was in the O2 Arena in foggy London town. Sorry for that accent. WWE definitely gave a pretty decent show, I guess. I mean, the Money in the Bank matches were great. I mean, as far as the men's match, I didn't give a damn who won, as long as it wasn't Logan Paul. But good for Damian Priest. Good for Io Sky winning the cases. Weird sort of turn of events for Ronda and Shayna Baszler. I'm not sure why Shayna turned on her. Definitely great match between Seth and Finn Balor. A match between Cody and Dominic was there for what reason, I don't know. However, that main event, let's go over it. There were some mind games going on from both teams early on, and at a slow pace. The Usos got the better of Reigns early on. Solo caught Jimmy with a big strike to take over the momentum. Reigns with a drive-by to Jimmy for 2. Eventually got the hot tag and started to work over Solo. Reigns got the blind tag, but it didn't matter as Jay hit an outside dive to them and then to Solo. Reigns with the Superman punch to Jay, then another one. The Usos hit a double spear to Reigns for 2 as Solo broke up the pin attempt. They had a stare down, then a brawl broke out. Reigns went for a spear but ate 2 super kicks by Jimmy. Jimmy went for a splash and Reigns caught him with the guillotine choke. There was a referee bump. Of course, you know they're all made out of paper. The Usos hit the 1D. There's no referee. Reigns and Solo with a double rock bottom. Solo with the spike to Jimmy. Reigns and Solo with a spike and spear to Jay. They stacked the Usos on top of each other for the near fall. Crowd went crazy. Solo fired up and motivated Reigns to beat down the Usos. Solo put Jimmy on the announce table and dove off the barricade to eat nothing. Reigns with a spear to Jay for 2, and Jay, similar to how he did him 3 years ago, used a low blow to break the pin attempt. The Usos with the double super kicks to Roman multiple times. Jay with the splash of top rope for the 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in 3 years, Roman Reigns has been pinned.
Oh my.
Hey, yo!
The last time Reigns was pinned was in December of 2019 to Baron Corbin. And just to kind of give you context of how long ago that was, Baron Corbin was in the ring with Dolph Ziggler and the Revival. Yeah, let that sink in. Well, that's been the news. What do you guys think? I mean, do you guys, like, it's not a matter of if now Roman's gonna be beat, it's just a matter of time now. I mean, granted, yeah, there's not a top guy taking a spot just yet, but we will see what happens, because right now, Roman's looking weak. But anyways, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all for listening. Please be sure to subscribe to this podcast, like this podcast, let your boy know what you think about this podcast. Visit the social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. Be on the lookout for DYSGmedia.com. Check out the YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe there. As always, people, live to play to win to live. I speak geek. Do you speak geek?